Please be aware that there is someone or maybe people who are impersonating us, who created another channel trying to be us. Whatever you do, don't fall for it. So we realized that it's a few crooked people out here, or maybe more than a few. But if you run across a channel that has our picture and other things on there, please let us know. We do have another channel. It's called The Blue Room. We haven't uploaded videos on that channel yet, but we will be doing that soon too. So just stay tuned for that. But other than that, if you see anything, please shoot us an email, let us know. All right, family, we are back. Todd and Tasha in the building. We are going to do this tonight. We are going to do this video. We are going to do it for those who are thinking of moving to Los Angeles. If you're not thinking of moving to LA, then this video may not be for you, but at the same time, you still may want to watch it just to kind of learn a few things about what we experience out here. Todd and Tasha again. The title of this video is Things That We Didn't Know When We Moved Out Here to Los Angeles. So, what we didn't know before moving to Los Angeles, it's probably maybe the more correct title. I have a list of things. If you like this video, you learn later on that you like this video, then please like, subscribe, and share all across social media. If you do not have social media, you still can share this video anyway, and all you have to do is just pick up the phone and let someone know about our channel, about our videos. So we're gonna dive right into this thing. Now, we've been living out in Los Angeles. We first actually moved out to LA, I believe it was maybe 2008, 2009 or something. Been out here for a while, and of course, again, we moved to Vegas for a little bit, then we came back. But we wanna talk about just a lot of things. Like, there's a big list here. Not sure if we're going to better get through this big, exhausted list of items. I have to remember that the screen is right there, that the camera's right, the lens is right there. I need to be looking into there. Not sure we're going to better get through the whole thing, but we want you guys to learn about LA, to learn about just some of the things that we've experienced, that we learned, that we didn't even know before we moved out here. Of course, that we later on learn. Some of these things may be funny, cool, or whatever, but then there's a few things that's not so cool. Right. And that's going to be the first things I'm going to kind of mention right now. So the first thing that I have on this list is that, and let me say this real quick. On this channel, we just keep it real. We just keep it real. Some people are going to get offended, feel a certain type of way, but we're Todd and Tasha. We're just going to keep it real and simple. But the women out here are, not all of them, but a lot of the women out here in the city of Los Angeles, even the surrounding area of LA, are manufactured. These women out here look like they have been through a manufacturing plant, to where they went in one way and came out another way. With this plastic surgery, there's so many women with the large bosoms, Tasha, the large butt.
Right, BBL.
Yeah, the BBL. Yeah, what's the BBL? Is that's the Brazilian butt lift, right?
Right.
Brazilian butt lift, and especially with the lip jobs.
Definitely tons of lip filler. Silicone people, distributors are very rich out here, I'm sure.
Exactly. You just wonder, like, quite honestly, how can you really move your mouth and your lips, because there's so much of the stuff pumped up in the lips. It's just everywhere. And just about everywhere we go, we always see this, women with these implants, butt injections, whether it's fat transfers, whatever it is, lip. we see it all the time, and quite honestly, we are just so tired of seeing that. These first ones is just probably going to really tie into each other. So you just really don't know who you're looking at anymore these days. You just don't know. You don't know what you're looking at, who you're looking at. Now, I want to get into the next scene again. This is going to kind of tie in, and Tasha, she's going to jump in whenever she has a. So, with that being said, another thing that we didn't know before moving to Los Angeles is that we really learned coming from, and I don't like to admit this, she has no problem with admitting this, but we were actually born in Detroit, Michigan. Where we come from is totally different in terms of the majority of the city is black folks.
Right. Yeah.
Out here, what we learn is that our culture and identity has been stolen. Has been stolen. So what I'm trying to say is that when we came out here, we quickly realized and noticed that nothing against anybody, but when we noticed that non-blacks, especially non-black women, a lot of them, not everybody, not all women, but a lot of them act like black women. Not just
Good point.
not just acting like black women, but the surgeries
Right.
to look like black women. Now, you're probably sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, right. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. No, we don't have surgery look like black women. No, and everything." Let me tell you something. You don't know. First of all, a lot of people don't even know or realize that I'm even black. I mean, yeah, I have different various stuff in me, but a lot of people don't even know I'm black. Most people, since we've been out here, always think I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I always think I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not.
Right.
But people have talked to me, told me things. And women that I work with so many women. They go into the factory, they get manufactured, they come out with a bigger butt, bigger lips. They will always tell me how men always tell them that they have a body like a black woman. I've heard it so many times. Or they have a butt like a black woman. Or they'll ask me, had a nerve to ask me, "Do you think I have a butt like a black woman? Do you think I have a body like a black woman?" Because I'm always told I have a body or I have a butt like a black woman. I have lips like...
Yeah.
And I just play it off. I don't want to be rude or mean or anything, but
Right.
I'm just like, oh, wow.
It's just, I mean, that sounds like super creepy. Even we had an acquaintance worked at one of the cosmetic counters out, we'll just say somewhere. Long story short, she's obviously a sister, and she basically would tell us how white women would come up to her, literally, she worked in the makeup area counter, and would put their wrist or whatever next to hers, and would say crazy stuff like, "Oh wow, we're almost the same complexion," like they're trying to tan so that they can be our complexion. It's just crazy.
Right. So,
I mean, sorry, it's just true. Like, we didn't realize that coming from where we come from, where we see, I won't say it's like Africa, just kidding, but it's like we just see us out there, and then we come out here and we're just like, this is a little strange. So
yes. So, what we also learned is that, and of course, what we didn't know before moving out here is that we know that this country has a history of racism when it comes to black folks. And we realize most people do not like black folks. Especially black women. There is a love-hate relationship with black women out here. And the way black women get treated, it's just so many things. We're not gonna even get into it or anything like that. But it's some stuff that's really sad and it's just emotional even talking about it. But black women's, we noticed that black women's culture and style has been stolen. And if you guys knew my age or our age, the era we come from, we're not old, by the way, let me say that, we're not old, but the era we come from,
Right.
the generation we come from, we see the big difference of how it was compared to now, and it is totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yep.
So, the love-hate relationship, a lot of people hate black women, but they love their style. They love the style of blacks. People even have admitted that to me in terms of not the hate part, but the part that they love the
Right.
black people's style, even black women's style, all that stuff, how unique their style is and everything else. So those are just some things right there, just right off the back that we
Didn't know.
didn't know.
And so here's the thing that I did not know before we moved out here. And I have to say that I did not know that LA was so family unfriendly, I have to say. And I say that because, of course, there's a ton of things to do with your family. And I mean family as in your children, okay? But because of the large amount of apartments out here, and especially luxury apartments or whatever the case may be, you know, like in certain areas and things like that. Even actually in another area that we lived in, which was more neighborhood, but it was still apartments there. It was just a lot. There are, I should say, a lot of, you know, couples, singles, you know, and whatnot. And you don't see a whole ton of like families. Now, of course, LAUSD, you know, which is Los Angeles Unified School District, there's a bunch of kids and whatnot. But again, Los Angeles County is huge, so it's not just encompassing Los Angeles, the city, it encompasses surrounding cities, like a ton of surrounding cities. So that being said, didn't realize that LA itself was so, I would say, family unfriendly, at least in the area that we are, which is like the west side. So now the funny thing is, part two to that is, I did not know that moving out here that it was so dog centered out here. Like, this is dog central.
Wow,
It's dog central out here. And I have to say that these people out here treat their dogs like they're the kids. Like, they don't want to have kids, but they want to have a bunch of dogs.
That
They
is
even
100.
push their dogs around in dog strollers. It's like crazy. They do so much for their dogs. They dress their dogs up. They have little booties for the dogs. I mean, I understand that downtown, because downtown is filthy. But they just like treat their dogs like they're the kids, and you don't even know if you're gonna look in a stroller and see a dog or an actual baby. And when you say actual baby, you're just like, shoo, shoo.
Because they had a dog and a baby stroller.
Exactly. So you're just like, whoo, go, oh, fine. Oh, it's a baby. Wow. You're like complimenting them because it's actual family.
You're running up to the stroller like, oh, I want to see your baby. I want to see your baby. And it's a rough in there. It's a dog.
Yeah,
a
it's
puppy.
just like, and oh my gosh, dogs everywhere. They dogs in the restaurants, dogs in the grocery store. I mean, poop is not picked up. It's just crazy. So did not know that when we came out here. Okay, I mean, not that I don't like dogs, but they doing too much out here.
But I just I don't get it. The fact that everyone is so obsessed with these dogs. So like if you're walking down the street or you go into a store and several owners, they have their dogs and the dogs come across other dogs and they're like so happy, like, wow, that's a beautiful dog.
Yeah, they really.
The dog will just jump on them and start licking them right on the mouth.
Ugh.
And
yeah.
they're kissing the dog's back right on the mouth.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, that's
Any
just-
dog owners. I've had dogs. Okay, I grew up. We had tons of dogs.
Yep, we did too. We
Growing
had
up,
dogs.
but
Yep.
you not sleeping with me and you not licking me in the mouth. Okay.
Right.
And you not eating off the table. Like, no, we don't do that.
I mean, this mouth is reserved for my wife.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I have to say, I don't think black people do that. But okay.
Never mind. I don't want to turn this into this is supposed to be a clean
silly.
video.
Okay.
But I didn't realize, you kind of see it on TV, but didn't realize that Los Angeles was so diverse.
Yeah, I don't think we were even thinking about it when we moved out here. It was just like, oh, well, okay, now it is diverse, but obviously the influx of black folks, if you want to see black people, just saying, you got to go to certain areas. But,
Right.
I mean, just saying, I mean, you got to go to Inglewood. Like, ladies, if you're thinking about moving out here, your beauty supply store is going to be online or you're going to have to go to Inglewood. Okay? Just period.
The wood.
So, you're going to have to go to Inglewood or South Central or whatever. But,
Right.
you know, so, yeah, it is definitely diverse. You see all types of people out here in LA. And I actually, that's what I like about out here.
Yeah, I love it. It's just all these different groups of people, beautiful, like God made just all these beautiful people. Another thing that we didn't know before moving to Los Angeles is that, so you often watch TV, you see just a host of TV shows, programs, movies, some of everything. But you did not realize that the inspiration, the motivation from a lot of these shows was actually real life
People.
characters out here in Los Angeles. So if you ever watch In Living Color,
Oh, my goodness.
with people like Damon Wayans, Keenen Ivory, all the Jamie Foxx, if you ever watch that show, you can even go watch reruns if
Right.
you weren't even alive around that time. But there was a character on there, and I believe it was played by Keenen Ivory
Yeah.
Wayans, and he played a character by the name of Frenchie. So Frenchie, he had this Jerry curl, and I think he had like braces or something in his mouth and
my
everything.
goodness.
So funny though.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. Tasha and I, one time we were
So
walking. We doing a lot of exercise. We were too tired to even walk home that day, and we were trying to catch the bus.
Yep.
And the bus pulled up and opened up its doors. And why wasn't that same character, the bus driver, the same Jerry curl, those
He looked
glasses,
just
everything, the metal in his mouth? It was so funny. I was like, wow.
We were like, wow.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Even another character that Martin played on the TV show Martin, Shanae. I saw a character, even recently just saw
So
a character, a Shanae character. It was
Yep.
like really, really crazy. I was like, wow, they don't make this stuff up.
Right, they get it from, right? Literally, the people out here that fits these people in Hollywood. If you've never seen it, you're like, oh, really? Where'd those characters come from? L.A.
Right.
Period. Bottom line.
Because this is a different group of people out here.
Oh, it is. Especially, yeah. We won't even go there. But anyway.
Right.
So another thing that I did not know, we did not know. Okay, I'm just saying, when we moved out here, or before we moved out here, what am I saying? Get your words right. Okay. So another thing I did not realize before we moved out here is that Hollywood, like the Walk of Fame area, is not that glamorous. Okay. You see on TV the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This actor, they've got their star on the Walk of Fame. And I'm thinking like, wow, that's so great. Literally, I thought that it was going to be as, I don't know, beautiful or pristine as like Beverly Hills.
Right.
No, okay? I'm not saying it's like trash or anything like that, but it's definitely not that glamorous. It's just like, you're walking down the street. Yeah, you see all of the, different things or whatever. You see I don't even know if they call it the Chinese theater anymore, whatever the name of it is. The theater, you see, these different restaurants, and you see all that type of stuff. But it's not as glamorous as I thought it was going to be, okay?
Not even glamorous at all.
It's not glamorous at all. It's just like a touristy type of thing. But I thought it was just like, oh, wow, Hollywood. Even Hollywood itself. Wow, we're in Hollywood. I was thinking that it's going to be like this glamorous, like, city. Like I said, I thought it was going to be like Beverly Hills type or whatever. So I was totally not expecting that when I, moved out here. When we moved out here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I
The
mean,
sketchy
it didn't look like that.
characters
Yeah,
and all
when
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like that. When the first time I experienced the Hollywood Walk of Stars, Walk of Fame was when I was taping the Roseanne show. But when I went out there, that was my very first time actually to Los Angeles before I officially moved out there. But it was like early in the day. It wasn't really many people. It was people out there, but it wasn't all crowded, and it didn't look dirty. It didn't really kind of look how it does now. So.
Oh, wow.
But so another thing that we did not realize before we moved out here to LA was, again, it's very strange people out here, very different people. Like, people would literally just walk down the street just playing a guitar.
Yeah.
Just walking down the street, just playing a guitar or playing some instrument, violin, or standing on the corner, just playing an instrument, playing a violin or whatever, or singing on the corner. They'll have a microphone and a speaker just singing. Also, they'll have a cowboy hat playing the guitar, cowboy boots, Jerry curl junkie.
Oh, riding their bike backwards up a hill. You know, like up a street and all that other stuff. I've never, like, literally, they're riding their whole entire way. They're riding backwards on a bike.
Exactly.
Why
I watch people
into traffic
riding a bicycle. They're on their bicycle. They're sitting on their bicycle backwards, riding. I don't know how these people are here. You have to give it to them. They are very talented. Riding a bicycle. You're on a bicycle backwards. But the bicycle's going forwards, but you're going backwards.
Yeah.
All throughout this LA traffic. If you ever been out to LA, you know this traffic out here is atrocious. It's just
crazy.
It's crazy. The city of LA is basically the industry. The city of LA is basically the industry. This is just like a club town, not just a club town, but a party town. Just everybody is connected in some way. Everybody knows someone that knows somebody else that knows someone that supposedly knows a director and everything. That's just like really, really crazy. Really crazy. Another thing that we didn't know before moving to Los Angeles is that there's a lot of stores, high-end stores, especially even out in Beverly Hills and Santa Monica, like the 3rd Street Promenade out there, that when you walk into a store, a high-end store, you are being served with wine.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
They literally have a tray, like you're at a restaurant, and they're serving you wine. Tasha and I were like, wow.
Like, is... okay. We don't drink, but, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Like, we've never, like, experienced that before. So speaking of that, did not know that Beverly Hills was so pristine. Now, I say it's pristine because literally you can walk down the street in Beverly Hills. Like, I was going to the doctor's office one time and I was just walking and I just happened to look at the street, but the sidewalk. I'm just like, there is not an ounce of gum, dirt, or anything on this sidewalk. It's crazy. It's like they just literally clean. They make sure no one is leaving their dog poop on the sidewalk. It's like so clean, and I didn't realize that. I mean, I thought Beverly Hills it's expensive, but I didn't know that they really took that much, paid attention to that much paid that much attention to detail when it comes to the cleanliness factor either. So that was pretty cool.
So another thing is that I did not know that the LAPD motorcyclists, the cops who ride the motorcycles, they ride BMWs.
Oh, yeah. And
they're suited up like it's cool, like their helmets and uniform. They literally look like they're about to go to war. I mean, and they're always in formation. They have very, very, very nice BMW bikes because they have a lot of money. So we didn't realize that. And did not realize that they can pull you over if you're riding a bicycle. So I was riding a bicycle coming from work through our neighborhood, and they pulled me over. I guess they thought I looked suspicious or something. My pedal broke off, and I kept looking back. The police were sitting at the corner. I kept looking back. I guess they thought I kept looking back at them maybe they thought I had something on me, a weapon, whatever. But I was looking back to see where my pedal fell off, from my bike. So they came pulled over. It was two young white guys and questioned me, give me the third degree. And then I was getting ready to call my cousin, who at the time was like a police chief or something. So with the LAPD.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't want these problems. But anyway. Okay, let's see. Did you know, that you can visit Europe in LA? Did you know that?
Wow.
Didn't know that before we moved out here, but of course, found that out when we went to Venice Beach. And we actually drove, I should say, to the Venice canals, okay? There is a, 1 mile? Yeah, there's a 1 mile stretch of, it's like 4 different canals. They're like each are like a quarter mile long, and you can literally like see like little, like a Europe type area right in the heart of LA. It's near Venice Beach. If you didn't know it was there, you would totally miss it, because you could be walking down Venice Beach as far as like the walk or whatever.
The boardwalk, right.
And
that's nice too over there.
Yeah, and you go into like the little neighborhood. And you walk over a little bit further, and you're just like, wait a minute, what is this canal doing here?
Right.
So it's so cool. I did not know that was out here before we moved out here. I thought that was pretty cool.
So another thing that we didn't know before we moved out here is that the homeless crisis was really bad. It was like, it's really bad. And it's so bad, you actually see people, there's a lot of homeless people who will like attack you. They will literally come up to you and stab you. It's happened. Unfortunately, this guy was on the phone. This happened even not too long ago. He was on the phone. He got off work. This was on a Thursday. He got off work early. Was going to have a full weekend. He was on the phone talking to his brother, excited that he was going to take his wife out for a nice weekend. He was going to have fun with his wife that weekend. While he was FaceTiming his brother, this homeless guy came up to him and stabbed him in the neck. And he was, his brother saw him on FaceTime, get eliminated. So that was like really sad.
Oh, yeah.
You see homeless people. We saw homeless people literally walking around downtown holding a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Really bad mental health crisis, which ties into the homelessness. So did not know that.
Didn't know. Another thing we didn't know before we moved out to Los Angeles is that it's really easy to get a job out here. It's easy. I've had like so many jobs out in Los Angeles, but it's definitely fairly easy. There may be people that would disagree, but it really is easy to find a job out here. If you're not persistent, then of course it's going to be hard to find a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so another thing that I did not know before we moved out here is that parking was going to be so confusing and the fees so exorbitant. Okay, did not know that before we moved out here. Parking is ridiculous. You can literally have 5 signs on one pole, and you're sitting there reading it for like 5 minutes trying to figure out if you can even park there or not on that particular day, on that particular side of the street, because of the street cleaners and all this other stuff. And it could be in a school zone, so that means you can only park there for a certain period of time. And also, it can only be like 15-minute parking, 30-minute parking, 20-minute parking. Loading, unloading is just like so ridiculous. It just doesn't make a bit of sense. And then $90 or more for like a parking ticket.
That's too much money.
It is ridiculous.
That's too much money.
No wonder there's a surplus.
Shit. They make a living off of ticketing people like you.
God. Whatever. Anyway.
No, I'm saying just people in general, they make a living off of that.
It's just ridiculous. And you see people, they get tickets and you just look at it like, oh well. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy.
But something that we didn't know before we moved out to Los Angeles, that you can literally get away without having a vehicle.
Oh yeah, we did not know that. Coming from Detroit, that is just not an option, at least for us, because like, who ran the bus in Detroit? No offense against anybody who is, but it's not that safe. The buses are really bad.
But a lot of it has to depend on where you live too.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
Right. So we did not know that coming out here. You don't have to have a vehicle. You can literally depend on the bus transportation system for the most part. as far as that's concerned, because it's reliable. I mean, it's fairly clean, I guess. It's still, I was gonna say that's what I said, fairly quote in air quotes. Yeah. So, but it is reliable, and yeah, some of the buses definitely run like clockwork.
So we also did not realize before we moved out to Los Angeles is that almost everyone was going to claim to be an actor, be in the industry.
I guess that, but
every other person, what do you do? I'm an actress. I'm an actress. I'm a working actress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a model. I'm an actor. I'm a model. Just, okay, I've done this. I've done that. You know, my resume consists of this, consists of that. I do this. Oh, and I have a shoot coming up next week. And literally, and this even ties back into the beginning where we talked about a lot of these women, this plastic surgery, their nose are so far up into the clouds to where it reaches outer space faster than SpaceX.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's pretty crazy. It's like so, everybody is in the industry. I mean, I get it. It's Hollywood and all that, but it's just like so extensive when it comes to just meet someone. Oh yes, I've been doing this. I remember even when we first moved out here, I totally remember that the neighbor that we had, the lady upstairs, of course, that's, oh yes, I'm an actress. I'm a working actress. And she was like working out and doing, oh, I've got an audition. I'll see you guys later. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's just really, it's just like, wow. And I just feel like I'm jumping around here. I really feel like I missed something, but I might be jumping way ahead of myself. But so another thing that we didn't realize before we moved out here to LA, what we experienced. So we literally lived right next door to Beverly Hills. We lived in a very expensive neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It was not like a ton of black folks in that neighborhood.
No.
We were the minority, as usual. But, and of course, Tasha had mentioned this to me one night. She was kind of having maybe an issue or feeling a certain type of way because people will look at us like we didn't belong in that neighborhood. Remember that, Tasha?
Yeah, I definitely remember that. This was years ago. Obviously, I don't have that problem now. It's just like, what are you looking at? But that is definitely how some people, you can tell that that's what they feel because you can feel that energy. And it was just like, that is what some of them think, literally, that, what are you doing here? What are they doing in this neighborhood? What's going on here? You know, it's like, because we can. I mean, like, obviously. But, no, I was feeling some kind of way. And, you know, Ty was like, why? Like, you shouldn't feel any kind of way. If anything, would you be looking at them like, why are you here? You know?
Right.
And this was all races. It wasn't just one particular one or anything like that. But it was just like different people. If anybody who was basically non-black, because it was like, we would see black people, we're just like, oh, hey, there's some black people. But other than that, it was just like, that was the look that we would get. On the other hand, it was like, if you saw some people and they were just like, oh, wow, look at them. They're the black family or something. It was just weird.
Right.
Like, yeah, didn't know that.
Didn't know that didn't realize before we moved to Los Angeles is that there are so many little towns out here. There's Koreatown, Chinatown, you have Thai Town, you have little Ethiopia, you have a host of towns all over the place, little Tokyo.
So
the African town, I just like really realized they had an African town out here, and from my understanding, I believe that's located in South Central.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about, well, that's just one restaurant. Never mind. I was gonna say Pico, but no, that it would definitely be South Central. So yeah, we did not know that, and it's so cool. You know, to go to different places, obviously get different types of food. I know I have to always mention food in some way, shape, or form. But didn't know that. Now, speaking of that, neighborhood-wise, didn't know that there were going to be so many, like, sketchy neighborhoods, just steps from the really expensive areas. Okay, so, like, you can be, like, literally, it's how Ty was saying, how, especially where we used to live, we were right next door to Beverly Hills. Now, however, of course, our area was like, whatever area we'll say, we're not going to say, but we'll just say like steps from that. And I don't mean like a few steps. I mean like maybe like several blocks
Just
over.
real close, right?
Yeah, several blocks over. And you're just looking around like, what happened to this neighborhood? Like, what's going on here? It's like you literally cross this one street and you're just like, should we should we be watching our back over here or what?
Crazy.
But then you go further down and it gets better. It's just so weird. So did not know that coming out here that it was going to be like that.
Right, exactly. Just like
Didn't know that. It was weird.
it's just like wow. I mean, you're in a real nice neighborhood, and it's almost like you can look across the street,
Right.
And there is like a dirty neighborhood.
Like the what is it back in on the westerns? If you guys even know what those are, when you would watch the westerns and the tumbleweed when we rolling down the dirt thing, you're like looking and it's like that's what you see across. Okay, anyway.
So another thing we did not realize before we moved out to Los Angeles is that you can literally be walking down the street like every day or every other day, and more than likely you'll run into a film shoot. Okay, you'll see the LAPD on their motorcycles in formation, and they're following a film shoot, a production right there, just a whole production just going down the street, and you'll see in the back of a truck, you'll see the actors. They are just doing their thing, and you're like, wow. You can see the boom crane, them doing everything. The motorcycles back there, keeping the regular traffic away.
Right.
It's just like it's a cool thing to see. You see it all the time. They're always filming. They're always shooting something out here.
Yeah, they would like block the streets off and everything. Like you can they give you notice like, hey, we're gonna be filming here and all this other stuff. So didn't know that. That's
Right.
pretty cool. Let's see something else that I didn't know. Hold on.
Well, while you're trying to find that one, this might be one of my last one here. But
Okay.
So what I did not, or what we really did not realize before we moved out here, is that back in Michigan, places like that, you basically had to dress the standard way of dressing. In other words, nothing out of the ordinary.
Quote unquote
way.
ordinary. Yeah.
And if you do that, you will get laughed at, talked about, whatever.
Or just like looked at like where are you going?
Out here in Los Angeles, anything goes. You can wear something that just completely does not match. You can have 5 holes in your shirt. You can be a man wearing a pink shirt with 5 or 6 holes in it. You can have a picture of a donkey on your shoulder, a picture of a banana on your head. I'm serious. And they'll just keep, you won't get laughed at.
Anything.
Nobody even cares. They'll just keep walking by, whatever. They don't care.
That's
like
so
anything,
true.
however you dress is accepted. You are accepted however you dress out here.
Oh yeah, that is definitely. I definitely agree with that.
We've witnessed some styles. It's like, wow, what is that? And we're looking at each other, and we're just like, is anyone else saying this?
No one.
People are just walking by like, exactly. They're walking by like,
no reaction.
oh, this is just a normal way of LA living. This is just how we do. I mean, I can wear a black shoe and a white shoe at the same time.
I know. That's like seriously, not kidding. Like that is definitely it. So that's a very good thing. Whatever you're wearing is like, hey, it's accepted. Okay. Now some people take advantage of that, but that's a whole nother story.
Right.
Now I did not know that Venice Beach was so colorful in air quotes. So you can see, and this ties into like the everyone's accepted thing. Maybe this will go into people watching. You can do some major people watching out here, especially if you go to the beach, the boardwalk as far as over there, or any of the different indoor, outdoor malls.
Right.
The people watching out here is just absolutely off the chain because there are so many different types of people. I mean, different ways of thinking, different ways of whatever, acting, like you are liable to see anything out here.
Yeah.
Okay. You could see somebody walking down the street with an afro that's like out to here, and it's just like, it's no big deal. You can see somebody like we kind of mentioned, juggling down the street or whatever.
Yes.
And you can see all of this on Venice Beach. Venice Beach is like really I think it's a concentration of all the colorful people, will say. There's working out, there's bodybuilders over there. There are people, I mean, we do have the large amount of homeless on Venice Beach as well, but you can see any type of person that you can think of on Venice Beach. Like, I think that's the concentration of strange people.
Right.
I won't say strange, but we'll say colorful.
Yeah. Riding little carts or even riding little carts or even, what do you call those? Wheelchairs, and they have like a big stereo system.
Oh,
like
I know.
Said, like
And
they're driving a truck, escalator or something.
With lights
With
all
lights.
around. Yep, lights.
You can hear the bass
stuff.
and back, you know,
Yep.
all the sophisticated suckers have a heart attack. But anyway, it's just really crazy. It's just like wild out here, wild. And it was something else. Oh, go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Did not know that you can ride your horse down the street out here. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Literally, not just the police. I'm talking about you. So literally, especially out in, what was this? I think Inglewood. There's actually what do you call it where the horses are?
A stable.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is a horse stable or something out there in Inglewood, and literally I will never forget, I was going to pick up our son when he was going to daycare, and it was so funny because I'm driving down the street, I'm like, do. I look over and I see this black girl, of all people, literally riding her horse down the street.
Yep.
Riding her horse down the street.
Giddy up,
Like, it was nothing. It was just like,
Right.
I was just looking around like, am I seeing things? Like, nothing.
Yep.
You can literally ride your horse out here. It was crazy. So, yeah.
And also, we've been solicited so many times to do like little shoots
Oh, yeah.
for TV.
Game shows.
Game shows. We haven't even seen the stuff that we've done. We haven't even seen it. We haven't seen anything.
Exactly.
So that's just crazy. Yeah, except for one thing. That was that Oprah
Oprah
thing.
thing.
That,
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but
Other than that, I was just like, I don't know where that footage
Right.
went. It's hilarious. So, yeah.
there's Los Angeles is definitely a different place. Different
It
place
is.
here. It's never a dull. It's never a boring moment out here.
No.
There's always something going on. Always something going on.
Yep.
But these were the things that we did not realize before we moved to Los Angeles, California. Todd and Tasha still in the building, but we're about to part. So, with that being said,
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share all over social media. If you don't have social media, share anyway. And of course, until the next video, peace out.
peace.